Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz as we get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news lower commodity prices spread more widely overnight and a dark mood flowed over Chinese equity markets late yesterday. But first, there was a GDT Pulse dairy auction event overnight. Basically, prices fell. The skim milk powder price was down a bit more than expected, down 2.8% from the last week's full GDT event and taking it back to levels last seen in April. The more important whole milk powder price was down too, down 1.5% in a lesser retreat than expected. Given how commodity prices have been falling generally, perhaps this isn't as tough as it could have been. Meanwhile, in the US, their retail sales at physical stores were up 4.9% last week from the same week a year ago, a much better gain than inflation. So consumers continue to spend, although not with quite the same impressive enthusiasm as a month ago. But they're not spending to buy houses. Existing home sales fell 5.4% from the previous month to an annual rate of 3.9 million units in June, the sharpest monthly decline since 2022 and the fewest amount of sales since the start of the year. In India, their budget delivered a raft of changes. These include increased spending, job creation and tax relief for their middle class. They hiked their securities transaction tax and reduced taxes on short-term and long-term capital gains and abolished the angel tax on foreign investment. They also cut import duties on gold and silver but raised them on plastic products. Income tax thresholds were raised. In the end, this is deficit spending equivalent to 4.9% of Indian GDP and continuing its fiscal stimulus. Modi's allies will be satisfied with what they got. And Taiwanese retail sales improved again in June, up almost 4% from a year ago, well above inflation there. And their industrial production was up an impressive 13.5% on the same basis. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.25%, and little change from this time yesterday. But Hong Kong equity prices fell 1%. Shanghai was down 1.7% in its Tuesday trade in the sharp late sell-offs. Tech capital Shenzhen fell almost 3%. The price of gold will start today up $10 from yesterday at $2,403 an ounce. But oil prices are down $1 at $77 a barrel in the US, while international Brent price is just on $80.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today down another quarter cent at 59.5 US cents. Against the Aussie was still at 90 Australian cents. Against the euro was still at 54.9 euro cents. That all means our trade weight index starts today at 68.5 and down 30 basis points from yesterday. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.